So good evening, everyone, Commissioner Rubin, other members of the DPU that are here, and everyone who has joined us this evening. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us. My name is Lisa Whelan, and I'm the president of National Grid here in New England. And before I start my official remarks, I would like to acknowledge that today is Natural Gas Utility Workers Day. And I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the many men and women of our gas business and the work that they do each and every day in service of our customers and the communities that we serve across Massachusetts. On January 16th, 2026, National Grid filed a proposal to review distribution rates for our subsidiary, Boston Gas. This filing has kicked off an 11-month review process that will culminate with the Department of Public Utilities issuing an order in late November 2026. This is our first gas rate case filing for Boston Gas since 2020. We at National Grid take seriously our responsibility to deliver energy safely, reliably, and affordably for our customers. Natural gas plays an essential role in Massachusetts' all-of-the-above energy strategy, providing a reliable foundation for economic growth, job creation, community safety, and emergency preparedness. We know an all-of-the-above energy mix can help meet rising demand and keep customer bills affordable. Natural gas complements renewable sources as part of a diversified fuel portfolio that helps maintain reliability and affordability as Massachusetts advances its long-term energy objectives. Since our last gas rate case, we've made investments to comply with DPU mandates that deliver tangible benefits to our customers. Some of those investments include more than 600 miles of aged infrastructure replaced, including pipes that were more than a half a century old, annual surveying of 1/3 of our entire network for safety and reliability, which equates to nearly 19,000 miles over the last 5 years, over 17,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions reduced through main replacement and leak repair, and $3.9 billion in infrastructure investments to replace aging pipes and upgrade regulator stations and compressor equipment. These investments improve safety, efficiency, and reliability for homes and for businesses. To be clear, the $3.9 billion in work has already been completed, and it's the way that rate cases are structured here in Massachusetts. So we are seeking reimbursement for work that we have already done. To enhance the reliability of our service and better provide for our customers' needs, we have asked the department to continue to support essential investments in system safety and reliability. Notably, our filing also includes a performance-based rate-making framework designed to drive cost efficiencies. Our proposal safeguards communities during extreme weather, like we've all experienced this past winter, when we continue to reliably serve over 950,000 customers throughout prolonged periods of colder than normal temperatures over the past 3 months, and meeting growing energy demands, ensuring all customers, including essential services like hospitals and schools and first responders, all remain fully operational when it matters most. Given the age of our distribution system, where 1/3, about 3,600 miles of main, were installed prior to 1970, our ability to make these investments has never been more important. Our proposal is focused specifically on a proportion of the distribution charge on customers' bills, which is the cost to safely and reliably distribute, maintain, and operate our gas system. It does not affect supply rates or certain state-mandated charges for policy costs tied to energy efficiency. The requested increases represent average monthly winter bill impacts of 8.4% or $24 for residential customers in our Boston Gas territory, which includes most communities in Greater Boston and Central Massachusetts, and 9.4% or about $25 for customers in our former Colonial Gas territory, which primarily covers Cape Cod and several communities in the Merrimack Valley. The proposed adjustment is driven by 4 main categories: physical infrastructure and asset maintenance, which includes the pipes in the ground, and it's the largest share; investments in new technology for network security and customer support. These include security investments to prevent cyber attacks and proposals to improve customer experience through new initiatives like app-based appointment scheduling. Investments in attracting and retaining our skilled workforce, including newly required positions to meet increased safety and compliance mandates. Local property taxes for infrastructure hosted in communities. Over the last 5 years, National Grid has paid $489 million in cumulative local property taxes, including $4.1 million here in Lowell. As I mentioned, we last filed a rate case in 2020, and our current rates were approved by the department in 2021. Since that time, we have found better ways to absorb costs and have steadily improved operational efficiencies to help minimize rate impacts. One example is right here in Lowell, the Lowell Area Gas Modernization Project, part of that $3.9 billion in infrastructure investments that I mentioned earlier. The centerpiece of this project was tunneling underneath one of the Commonwealth's most significantly trafficked corridors to connect the Lowell and Chelmsford gas networks. By using an innovative approach, we were able to ensure that reliability for existing and future customers is improved by ensuring we have adequate infrastructure to meet their needs. And that safety for our customers is bolstered by not only upgrading pipes that in many cases are many, many decades old, but also by becoming smarter and more efficient in how we manage those assets going forward. For this project in particular, we've used smart pipe inspection gauges along the full 5.8 miles of line that will provide us with real-time information about pipe wall and weld integrity without us needing to interrupt gas flow for inspections. Other examples of improved efficiencies include implementing advanced scheduling technology that allows our technicians to complete more repairs in less time, proactively repairing and maintaining assets before extreme weather to help minimize some outages, and purchasing natural gas at the lowest possible price where we can. While we have continued to focus on these and other efficiencies within our control, the economic landscape has fundamentally changed since our last filing in 2020. Soaring material and labor costs, stricter compliance mandates, increased safety requirements, greater demand for energy driven by economic growth and technology advancements, and persisting extreme weather events are stressing both our gas system and our electric systems. But we also recognize the cost pressures affecting our customers and our communities. To keep costs down, we excluded non-essential proposals, like new costs tied to fleet vehicles and fuel expenses and other discretionary programs. We are also proposing new measures to keep bills more affordable and more predictable, such as greater bill stability throughout the year. That same focus led us to advance new approaches for customer affordability. As part of our most recent electric rate case, we developed a first-of-its-kind tiered income discount rate to better align bill support with household need. Building on the success of that approach, we proposed a similar tiered income discount for gas customers as a part of this rate case. But given the urgency of affordability, we are working closely with the department to support implementation on a separate path so that customers can benefit as soon as practicable. We recognize that changes to customer bills are never easy, and affordability is central to every single decision we make. And that is why, through this filing, we have carefully examined every proposed investment against the cost to customers, and we have focused on value, investing where it matters most: safety, reliability, and affordability. The proposal we filed in January reflects the investments necessary to continue delivering safe and reliable energy in a changing economic and operating environment, while using every tool available in our control to manage costs and support our customers. We are confident that this request is both responsible and necessary to meet today's needs and to continue providing the level of service our customers expect and that our customers deserve. For those of you who are here tonight and who may have billing or other customer service questions, our customer service organization is here. They've got a table back here in the back, and they'd be happy to speak to you and answer any of your questions. So thank you. And if members of our customer service organization can raise their hands so people know where to find you at the conclusion of this, that would be great. You see where they are? So thank you again. I appreciate everyone that's joined us to share your comments this evening, and I look forward to hearing each and every one of them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, the department will receive comment on the company's proposals. The department traditionally allows federal, state, and local officials the opportunity to speak first during the public comment portion of the hearing. Are there any federal officials here tonight who wish to comment? Okay, the Attorney General is represented here tonight. Does the Attorney General's office wish to comment?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Gardner. I'm an Assistant Attorney General in the Massachusetts Attorney General's Office. By law, the Attorney General represents the interests of utility customers in rate cases filed with the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities. Earlier this year, National Grid filed a petition to increase the base distribution rates that the company charges customers for gas delivery service, which will affect the total delivery service component of your gas bill. In its petition, National Grid is seeking an initial increase of $342 million in base distribution revenue. If the department approves the company's request as filed, customers will experience the following bill increases beginning December 1st, 2026. For residential heating customers in the Boston gas service area, the average bill will go up by about $24 per month, which is a 9.8% increase in the first year, taking the average across the summer and winter seasons. For residential heating customers in the former Colonial gas service area, the average customer's bill will go up by about $25 per month, which is a 10.9% increase in the first year. For commercial and industrial customers, monthly bill impacts range from a decrease of 37.5% to an increase of 37.8%. In addition to the initial increase, the company is requesting approval of a 5-year performance-based rate-making plan. If National Grid's performance-based rate-making plan is approved as filed, the company will be allowed to further increase customer rates annually during the 5-year term, causing rates to increase by approximately 46% by the end of 5 years. Massachusetts residents are already feeling the pressure of rising utility bills, especially after weeks of extreme cold this winter. Customers need and deserve rate relief on both their gas and their electric bills. The Attorney General's office has intervened in this gas distribution rate proceeding on behalf of National Grid's customers. Our attorneys and experts are already hard at work investigating every aspect of the company's proposal. Over the next several months, we will issue information and document requests concerning National Grid's petition, and we plan to file expert testimony and briefs with the department challenging the company's proposed rate increase. Although National Grid's requested rate increase includes multiple components, I'd like to highlight 2 issues that may be of interest to you as customers. The first issue is related to a billing failure that many National Grid customers experienced during the 2024 and 2025 winter season. National Grid is requesting $14 million to cover the costs associated with the company's failure to issue timely gas bills for approximately 30,000 customers. In some cases, customers did not receive a bill for months and then were suddenly slammed with a bill for thousands of dollars of energy use. Customers simply cannot budget for that type of rate shock. To that end, the department ordered National Grid to follow the 2-month rule, meaning that the company could not charge customers for bills that it failed to issue that were more than 2 months old. In addition, the department ordered National Grid to waive, refund, or credit customers $14 million due to their billing mistake. The company is now seeking to recover that $14 million from customers through this rate case. The Attorney General's office plans to oppose this request. The second issue that I'd like to highlight is National Grid's Gas System Enhancement Program, known as GSEP. GSEP was created by law to incentivize gas companies to repair and replace old leak-prone pipes. As customers, you are billed for this work through a separate GSEP charge in the delivery section of your gas bill. In this rate case, National Grid wants to move $198 million of GSEP expense out of the GSEP charge and into base distribution rates. This $198 million of GSEP expense is a component of the company's $342 million initial increase request. In addition to moving $198 million of GSEP costs into base rates, National Grid is requesting department approval to begin recovering a separate $90 million balance of GSEP-related costs through the GSEP charge. Let me explain. The law limits how much National Grid can bill customers through the GSEP charge each year. National Grid often spends more money on its GSEP program than it's allowed to recover from customers in a given year through the GSEP charge. As a result, National Grid has been accruing a separate balance of deferred GSEP costs with interest that the company now plans to recover from customers. This deferred GSEP balance is currently more than $90 million, of which $12 million represents interest. National Grid is proposing to recover that $90 million from customers through the GSEP charge. So, to summarize, the company's $342 million proposed rate increase, $198 million represents GSEP costs that National Grid wants to transfer out of the GSEP charge and into base distribution rates. And then separately, the company wants to start recovering the $90 million GSEP deferral balance from you through the GSEP charge. Simply put, GSEP is one of the biggest charges on your gas bill, and it is the largest driver of the company's requested rate increase. For years, the Attorney General's office has argued that National Grid has been spending far too much on GSEP, and the costs to customers are too extreme. The Attorney General's office plans to make these same arguments in this case and investigate how to minimize the rate shock caused by GSEP. This is an extremely important case because it will set the rates for approximately 950,000 gas customers in 144 cities and towns across Massachusetts. The Attorney General's office encourages all customers to take the opportunity to express their concerns and priorities here and throughout this case. Your participation is important and it makes a difference. Thank you for the opportunity to present the views of the Attorney General's office.
Thank you. Are there any other elected state officials who wish to comment? Are there any elected municipal officials? Ma'am, could you just identify yourself for the record?
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't going to speak, but I will, seeing that I'm here. My name is Kim Scott. I'm a local city councilor for District 5. And this definitely affects a lot of the residents in my district. A lot of them are not here this evening, but I've heard from so many of them with concerns about their gas bills and electric bills right now. I cover a large part of my district is an economic justice area, and I'm deeply concerned and frankly shocked by the request for this percentage increase. The Lowell Senior Center is a great place to hold this because there are so many seniors right now struggling in the city of Lowell to heat their homes, and working families right now that have told me that they're choosing between heating their homes and buying food right now, and other things for their families. The increase is too big; it's too big of a burden. And I'd ask that you deny this increase. Our residents are in a bottomless bank account for a large corporation. And I would request at a bare minimum that you look at modifying or lowering the percentage. Thank you.
Thank you. We have an appointed official, another commissioner with us tonight. Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to speak next. Is that okay?
Are you an official with the town?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. Would you identify yourself?
Thank you. My name is Sidney Liang. I am a District 7 councillor. Basically, you are in the middle of District 7, the acre. This is one of the poorest neighborhoods, but as you can see, our residents are not here. And I'm speaking just what Councillor Scott said, is that I hope you vote no on this. Unfortunately, I'm not sure this is going to be happening, but a lot of people can't be here, and because they think that whatever they say might not come true. You might go around and listen to the communities around Massachusetts, but will you truly hear them? Today, you want to get a return on distribution you invested and your investment. But who to knows that 5 to 10 years from now, because of AI, you'll come back again and ask for more, so that the efficiency and technology and services, you want to increase some more. Inflation and unemployment will overtake affordability. Affordability is the new political words and framework, but affordability for those can afford only, but not for all, for residents who are living here today, especially at the lowest of the low income residents. I hope you can hear us. We can't and we won't be able to afford the affordability rate that you mentioned. In reality, I don't think we'll end up with stopping this rate increase. We'll probably will find additional jobs just to keep the lights on and the family warm. But I truly hope that you don't approve this increase. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other elected officials?
Chelmsford.
Could you state your name and where you serve?
My name is Badri Uliappan from Precinct 11, Chelmsford.
Okay, hang on. We're going to need the spelling.
You're gonna need the spelling.
Can I provide that afterwards? Or do
You
you?
can.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry. I wasn't planning on making comments, but this becomes very interesting. Obviously, Chelmsford is, I don't see a lot of Chelmsford residents here. And we were just mentioning a critical project between Lowell and Chelmsford. I think of this as, I would request, obviously I support the AG's office position point, but to commissioners of DPU, I think Massachusetts needs to consider the whole system problem. National Grid as a company has a Wall Street stakeholder that's expecting a certain return on investment and aspect wise. That's a critical piece. But on the affordability side, which is very critical, Massachusetts has one of the highest energy rates for people to use and live here. And we need to support the economy here. We need people to move in. And we need to decarbonize. Even if it's not decarbonization as the key word, I think we need to look at it in a broader perspective. I know I'm not addressing the affordability question here very specifically, but it's very important to think about it from a national security perspective. We need all the gas reserves for the more important industries, and we need to decarbonize. And I would ask the DPU to take it not just from a gas perspective, but also from the electrical rates perspective. What is the total cost? And how are you going to manage that? And how are we going to transition? One key point of confusion, even though I try to prepare for it in a little bit, and as the AG's office, assistant AG office person explained, there's a separate line item that's already been invested and repaired and paid for, and now it's being moved. I don't know why that's like double charging in some ways. You know, you lay a pipe, that's it. You fixed it. You don't charge based on that and say, I've got additional numbers. So it's very confusing for our residents or people to understand all of this, but obviously this looks like a very large number. We need to transition. We also need to work with National Grid as a totality, or all the energy systems as a totality, to figure out how are we going to bring down the energy costs overall, not just a gas alone, not to look at it as science. That's would be my main point, that how do we look at it from a total perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any? Are there any other elected officials wishing to speak tonight? Okay, we have a commissioner from the Department of Energy Resources.
Thank you to the Department of Public Utilities for hosting this public hearing here in Lowell and for the opportunity to offer DOER's comments tonight. My name is Elizabeth Mahoney, and I'm the Commissioner of the Massachusetts Department of Energy Resources, serving in Governor Healy's administration. DOER is the state's energy office, and our mission is to create the clean, affordable, resilient, and equitable energy future for all in the Commonwealth. I'm here tonight to speak about the new gas rates filed by National Grid and under consideration by the department. My comments tonight and DOER's anticipated focus in this case are similar to those expressed by the Attorney General's office. As you've heard from customers in previous hearings, and will no doubt hear tonight from the public gathered, I too am concerned about the size of the proposed $342 million revenue increase proposed by National Grid. National Grid has proposed to increase residential rates during the peak season by as much as 10% and by about 20% during the off-peak season. People are struggling every day to afford rising energy bills, and this proposed increase in rates, if approved, is concerning. My team is digging into National Grid's proposal. In this proceeding, National Grid proposes to increase the rate return on equity. The return on equity is the profit that the investor-owned utility can earn on its capital. The company proposes to increase its return from 9.7% to 10.25%. As the department is well aware, this would provide a return on equity significantly higher than any other gas company in Massachusetts. Indeed, if approved, this would be the highest profit return allowed for a utility since at least 2010, and possibly ever in Massachusetts. As we continue to seek every solution to address energy affordability, it is unconscionable for the company to ask to increase its profits to this level. We believe strongly that heightened scrutiny must be placed on utility ROEs in general, particularly in a moment when skyrocketing energy costs are hurting so many people. DOER will focus on this issue in particular during this proceeding and urges the department to reject the proposed ROE rate for National Grid and save customers tens of millions of dollars. For example, reducing the ROE requested by National Grid at 10.25% to the rate proposed in the Liberty Gas settlement of 9.3% would save nearly $40 million. Beyond the ROE increase, the driving force behind the company's rate increase is a proposal for millions of dollars of new infrastructure spending and operational costs, as well as by high spending on the Gas System Enhancement Program, or GSEP. GSEP is a program established in 2014 to encourage the gas companies to repair and replace leaky old gas pipes. The costs of GSEP are on top of the costs for traditional system maintenance and provide a way for gas companies to accelerate the recovery of the costs for this type of work. While I strongly support GSEP's goal to eliminate gas leaks and maintain a safe, reliable system, the Massachusetts Gas Utilities implementation of the program raises serious questions about planning and ratepayer contributions. Over the course of this program, spending on GSEP has ballooned. National Grid has spent over $3.5 billion on GSEP in the last 10 years, with over $2 billion spent in the last 5 years alone. To date, the gas companies have failed to explain why GSEP costs are increasing so rapidly. In this proceeding, National Grid proposes to move more than $198 million in historic GSEP costs into base rates, which would allow them to start investing again under the program spending cap. The department should carefully evaluate this proposal and avoid unchecked spending under GSEP from continuing. Setting GSEP aside, National Grid is proposing a new 5-year performance-based rate-making PBR plan. PBR plans are intended for the company to invest in its infrastructure with annual automatic rate increases. I've seen these plans before from our electric utilities and other gas utilities, and I have serious concerns. Too often, PBR plans become a blank check for utilities to steadily increase rates without any corresponding benefits for customers. My team is already reviewing National Grid's proposal and will be asking pointed questions about the PBRT plan, what accountability it offers, and whether or not it provides benefits to National Grid's ratepayers. As the department is well aware, energy affordability is top of mind for the Healy-Driscoll administration. This winter, customers across the Commonwealth again faced high winter heating bills. Governor Healy took action last year to lower energy costs for residents and businesses. And earlier this year, she announced several new initiatives the administration will take to lower costs and protect customers further. When the governor called on the department to help, you responded quickly, including your directive to gas companies like National Grid to lower rates immediately. National Grid answered the governor's call this year, offering relief in February and March and foregoing carrying costs. The governor continues to push for her comprehensive affordability bill with the promise of saving customers more than $13 billion over 10 years. And recent action by the House advanced many of these ideas, and we look forward to the Senate's anticipated action this spring. Just this week, the governor issued an executive order on energy supply, leveraging executive actions to bring online more supply and lower customer costs. Returning to the matter at hand, and given all the efforts underway to address the present affordability crisis, including the collaborations with National Grid on efforts to lower customer bills this year, I was shocked by this proposed increase. Through its intervention, DOER intends to closely examine National Grid's proposal and identify costs that the department should reject, thus protecting ratepayers and businesses struggling with high energy burden. I thank the department for its careful consideration of the arguments to be made on behalf of the ratepayers from interveners like DOER, and to similarly seek opportunities to reject this rate increase in protection of National Grid's customers. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak tonight, and thank you for your consideration of our arguments on behalf of ratepayers.